If you like to eat good food, this pork belly mac and cheese is for you. You absolutely must make this, no questions about it. Y'all know me, I like to be a little different over here. I couldn't just give y'all a plain Jane pork belly mac and cheese. I feel like we've all seen that before, so I had to put my own spin on it. We're gonna do a bourbon glaze pork belly, which is gonna be absolutely phenomenal. Then instead of baking the mac and cheese like we usually do, we're gonna throw it on the smoker. And I think this is the first recipe on the channel that y'all seen on the smoker, so I'm super excited. Y'all gonna love it. We gotta get started on seasoning this pork belly. Seasoning our pork belly is super simple. We're gonna go over the top with some smoked paprika. I absolutely love smoked paprika. Y'all should know that's gonna give it a nice color. And then we need some fresh cracked pepper. A good glug of that. I love pork belly so much, y'all. It is one of the best bites in barbecue. I really do believe that. And this is my first time actually making like burnt ends, or I forget what it's called. I don't know why my brain is going blank. A good bit of pepper. And then right here, we are going with instant coffee espresso powder. This is really just gonna complement that bourbon barbecue glaze. Not too much. It won't taste like coffee either. So if you're concerned about that, don't be, because it won't taste like that at all. And then last but very not least, I like to add salt, of course. A good pinch of salt. I always like to add salt either first or last, just so I know how much salt I'm using and I don't over salt. I don't really like rubs with salt in it, because then you have a higher chance of really over salting them. So test your skills and just play with your food, and then you'll figure out how to learn how to salt your food. And as you can see, I've already cubed up my pork belly too. So I figured y'all didn't need to see me doing that. That was gonna be a very boring and tedious process that I was like, I'm gonna spare y'all, because I'm a good person. You know, I look out for you guys, and I wanna make sure that y'all not bored by any means. Mix this up and get it all covered. This is looking good. This is gonna be a long day in the kitchen. No cap. Pork belly takes some time to get nice and tender, and we're not gonna rush it. So low and slow is the name of the game. Look at this, nice, beautifully seasoned. Now we're gonna transfer this to a wire rack. I'm putting this on a wire rack just because I feel like, one, the transportation part of it is gonna make it all that much easier. And then on the smoker, I don't want them falling in between the grates as they shrink up. It's just gonna make life all that much easier. Y'all need to see this process. I'm gonna line them all up, and then I'll meet y'all outside at the smoker to put these on the grill or smoker. I don't know why I always call it smoker or grill. It is kind of like a smoker grill combo. Anyway, y'all need to see me do this. I'm gonna line all these bad boys up, and then I'll meet y'all outside on the smoker. Placing these on the smoker is super simple. Take your rack and bada bing, bada boom. I don't know why I brought tongs out, knowing that they're gonna be on racks. No smoker tube in this bad boy. Okay, close that up. And then now, probably gonna take 2.5, 3 hours, but as soon as those are done, are nice and tender, we'll come back, crank the heat up, get those nice and crispy. Then it's downhill from there. We gotta make the glaze still. So once those are closer done, we'll go ahead and make the glaze, but I'll show y'all when it's time. Belly has reached temp and just looking absolutely amazing. Oh my goodness, look. It might be zoomed in on me, but we're gonna go ahead and remove this, and we're gonna crank our smoker up to 425 degrees. I want these to get crisp up before we put the glaze on it. So getting them crispy will help that glaze just stick all that much better. Add some more crunch, just good flavor. So I'm gonna remove all these, crank the temp back up to 425, and then I'm gonna put these back on. I won't show y'all that, just y'all know how to do that, you know? Y'all aren't idiots. I hope not, at least. Once they're back on the smoker at 425, I'm gonna cook them maybe 10, 15 minutes, like I said, till they're crispy. But in the meantime, we'll get started on our glaze. Then we're eating large. For this bourbon glaze, it is super simple. We're gonna go in there with some bourbon. Of course, I'm using wild turkey. You can use whatever bourbon you like. Then brown sugar. Of course, a little sweetness is always gonna make me happy. A couple tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, just about so. Maple syrup is gonna balance everything very nicely. I love maple syrup. A little bit of Dijon mustard. Tablespoon of orange juice, freshly squeezed oranges. We don't go for that other stuff. And then zest from that as well. And then last, for a little heat, you can always play with this, a little bit of cayenne pepper. Mix this up, and this is gonna go on the stove top and just let it simmer 5 to 7 minutes. It's gonna get nice and glossy. I'm forgetting one ingredient. Butter. Throw some butter in there. After you throw that butter in, just put this on the stove top, let it simmer 5 to 7 minutes till it gets nice, glossy, a little thick. The pork belly is almost done getting crispy out the smoker. Once that comes off, the glaze should be ready, and then we'll coat it, and then we'll get started on the mac and cheese. Pork belly is nice and crispy. Y'all hear that? Crisp? Oh, we gonna be eating good. Try not to snack on these, man. I've been snacking on these for real, for real. Okay, let's dump these all into the pan, and then we can glaze these up. Our glaze tastes absolutely amazing, nice and syrupy. I just wanna take it and then just pour it right over the top. You don't gotta go crazy. You don't gotta use all of it, but I'm gonna use a good bit. Just in case I wanna toss them when they come out, you know what I'm saying? And then they just mix that all up. Get it nice and coated. Woo hoo hoo hoo. I always get scared to toss it because I always feel like I'm gonna lose one. And I don't want to lose any of these golden nuggets. Ooh, it's about to be so good. I'm telling y'all right now. Bring that sheet pan back. They got to go on the smoker just one more time, just so the glaze can get all nice and tacky and stick to this pork belly. So I'm gonna lay these all out, put them on the smoker 5 to 7 minutes. Once that glaze is set, we'll go ahead, take them off, and then get a oven right next to you. Heat it up to 170 degrees, and we're just gonna hold them in there till we're ready to add them to the mac and cheese. Not all of it's going into the mac and cheese, but a little bit. Our pork belly is nice and tacky. These are going in the oven, and let's get started on our roux for our mac and cheese, because I love me some mac and cheese. I like to start my mac and cheese with a roux. You should know that by now. And then I have butter, flour, equal parts. However you like to make your mac and cheese sauce, go ahead and do it your way. As long as you end up with something good, that's all that matters. As soon as this melts, we'll go ahead and add our flour, and then I'll make that part quick. Once that butter is melted, go in there with your flour, and I'll make this part quick. As soon as it's ready for the milk, we'll go ahead and add that. Once that raw flour taste is gone, slowly, just a little bit at a time, we're gonna add heavy cream. All my people on my channel, I expect y'all to be cooks, you know what I'm saying? So y'all should know a little bit at a time, even though I said I was gonna do a little bit at a time and just pour the whole thing in there. We're gonna be all right. Just give that a good mix. After your heavy cream, go in there with milk. And while we're making our cheese sauce, go ahead and knock that smoker down to 325 degrees. When it was getting crispy, it was at 425, so knock it down 100 degrees to 325 degrees. And that's what we're gonna smoke the mac and cheese at once it's all built and complete. Add your milk, mix this up, and then I'm just gonna bring this to a light simmer till it starts to thicken, probably 5-10 minutes. And then we'll add our cheeses, season up. We're almost at a simmer, so let's season this up. We'll go in there with garlic powder. Like always, guys, season with your heart. Whenever your heart says stop, that's when you stop. Next, we'll go in there with onion powder. Can't have one without the other. And then dry mustard. I really do like adding dry mustard to my cheese sauces. If you don't do this, please do it. Probably about half is that. Y'all know I love smoked paprika, so we'll add a good helping of that. And then for a little heat, we'll add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Mix this up. I'm not gonna add any salt and pepper right now. The cheese is inherently salty, so once I add the cheeses, then I'll taste and adjust. Now we will begin adding our cheese. I'm gonna go in there with sharp cheddar first. Of course, you wanna add a little bit at a time, mixing in between each handful. I have 3 cheeses. I have sharp cheddar, Gouda, and Gruyere cheese. That's my blend. With each mac and cheese video I do on the channel, like I said, last mac and cheese video, I try to do something a little different. I don't want to keep giving y'all the same recipes. Yes, the seasons are pretty much the same, but either the cheeses are different or I'm adding something to it. So just to give y'all some variety, there's a lot of different things you can do with mac and cheese. Open your eyes up, open your mind up, and you'll be surprised what you can do. I'll be spitting bars. Adding cheese, little by little. Pre-grate your own cheese, guys, too. Don't be using that bag stuff, please. Don't be doing it. Not here. If you want good food, take the little extra time and effort. I use the food processor to grate all my cheese. That makes it super quick and easy. Takes 5 minutes. Yeah, I gotta clean that, but it's so much easier than doing it by hand. And y'all know me, with my cheese sauces, I like to make them a little bit more looser, so when they bake and all that moisture evaporates, not all of it, but when some moisture evaporates, it's nice, it's creamy, it's not dry. I told y'all I have PTSD. Messed it up one time, scarred me for life. Cheese sauce looking nice and beautiful. Let's give it a taste and see where I need to add. I know for sure it's gonna need some salt and pepper, so let's just see how much. A good pinch. Dang, that's bland. It always blows me when people say I don't use salt when I cook. I'm like, I know your food is disgusting. You gotta use salt. Don't be scared of salt. Take your time, learn how to use salt, obviously, but don't be scared of it. I'm happy with the salt levels of that. And then last but not least, let's add some black pepper. I love this pepper cannon. I'm happy with that. Good lead. Maybe a pinch more salt. And then we'll go ahead and add our pasta in. I cooked my pasta earlier, so it is just sitting ready for me. It's okay if it clumps up a little bit. That's also gonna reheat it up. Coat the noodles, all good and well. I never tossed in olive oil though. Never tossed in olive oil. Don't wash it with water. And then just break it up and mix it around. I know, guys, you're like, man, Dre, that's loose. Trust me on this. Just trust the process. Trust the game. I got you. I promise you I ain't gonna lead you in the wrong direction. And then before we build, I'm gonna add just a little bit of that pork belly into it. Oh my goodness, look at this. This looks like golden candy. I'm telling y'all right now, this is fire. Okay, we'll add just a few pieces. Don't wanna go too OD with it. Give this a final mix. I know in like retrospect, now that I'm thinking about it, I added it and that's like nothing. You might get one bite if you're lucky. If you hit the jackpot and you dig in, you get a bite of pork belly, you're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Now we can get ready to build this up. I'm gonna put this in a cast iron pan. I'm not sure if it's gonna fit in a cast iron pan, but we're gonna see. We're gonna make it work. Y'all think this is gonna fit? I'm not sure. Let's see. And I'm not layering it. You can if you want to. Oh, perfect, Dre. Stop stressing, bro. Say, Dre, calm down, bro. Trust the process. I don't know how many times I've made mac and cheese in the same pot and then dumped it in the cast iron and it's fit just fine. Before this goes on the smoker, we're gonna go over the top of it with some more cheese, of course. the 3 cheeses we used from earlier, and then I got some Parmesan cheese. It's gonna look nice when it bakes in the oven. Not the oven, but the smoker. You know, y'all know what I mean. Spread that cheese out. Spread that cheese out. Love mac and cheese. It's gonna be cheesy. That Parmesan cheese is really just gonna give it some nice color in the oven. Or not oven. I don't know why I keep saying oven. That's smoker. It's going to be beautiful. Now this is going back on the smoker 325 for 30-ish minutes till that cheese is nice, melted. The top is golden and bubbly. Y'all know what that looks like. I'll put some shots in there for y'all, but that's when I'll see you next when it's time to eat. Mac and cheese out the oven, nice crispy top. I threw it under the broiler for like just 1 minute just to get it even more crispy and charred. And then you just take that pork belly, and this is just really kind of acting as garnish. So we're just gonna pile it up right in the middle. Nice, crispy, glazed in that sauce. Man, absolutely special. I love pork belly. How could you not like pork belly? You gotta be a hater to not like pork belly. Dang, I wish I had like some parsley, because that would go great on top of this. Just for a pop of color, you know what I'm saying? Let's get a bite now, and I'm gonna remove all this pork belly. I told y'all it was just for looks, guys. Don't blame me. Don't hate the game, don't hate the player, hate the game. I wanna get a good bite, you know what I'm saying? We gotta see if the cheese pool is here, and I can't get the cheese pool. This is on top. Some of it I'm not gonna chip on it, like if it don't come off. We saved that one pork belly for this bite. Let's go for it. Oh my Lord. Good God Almighty. Sheesh. Look at this bite. Oh my Lord, about to be so good. Let's go for this bite. I know it's gonna be so good. And it is piping hot. Blow your food off. Don't make the same thing all the time. Challenge yourself in the kitchen. Make something new, you know, step outside your comfort zone. That's what we did here today, and I know it's gonna be amazing. This pork belly, gas and mouth is literally watering dry. Be quiet. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Absolutely phenomenal. Wow. Seasoned very well. I love that cheese combo too. You really get that Parmesan at the top. That Gruyere. This is what you make when you're trying to impress somebody. The mac and cheese is perfect, creamy, seasoned nicely. Then the bourbon pork belly. Chef's kiss right there. Y'all really gotta try this. Make this for yourself, and I promise you're gonna see how it feels to eat good food. You know what I'm saying? I wanna eat this mac and cheese in peace. Come back next week. Y'all know I got a banger for y'all. I'll see y'all there. Peace.